Alrighty then, I don't need my headphones again. Same video as before, further along. Put it on mute because we don't want the cheap music to be annoying. So it's just going to be my voice being annoying in this video. I know this is quite amateurish, but we're going to keep on doing these sorts of videos for a while. And once again, this is on the video. Paranormal videos that claim to be proof of ghost existence. On the channel Scary Videos. So let's just keep on watching these. See what we reckon. By the way, your watermark doesn't make it copyright. It's an old video anyway, so Scary Videos won't mind. Oh, there's a thing over up here. Very dull video, very unclear. Plausibly edited. You just move that box. Just trying to make it bigger in the image for you to see. So could be edited in, could just be a really low quality video. Either way, I suppose it is what it is. Not impressed. I don't really get why people think it's, valid as proof or evidence or whichever term you prefer. Like the wording of the video, even. It's a funny play on words. Paranormal videos that claim to be proof of ghost existence. I mean, proof is more a matter of the mathematical, isn't it? But evidence is obviously the more tangible. I don't think it's very tangible, so I wouldn't call it evidence. And as far as mathematics, there are other explanations, probably far better. But this is a close-up. Okay. Could it be a person crossing the road? Problem is, fakes are so low quality. It's usually little stuff in the background. With some of these ones that are trying to make themselves seem to be more legitimate. Because, hey, if we were faking it, we'd put it right in the middle of the frame. This asshole would move that Scary Videos watermark. Looks a bit like a misshaped person or a very unclear person. I think that could be edited in. Considering the quality level being so low, so heavily cropped, especially now. They don't walk back onto the pavement and keep on walking along the road. They walk straight into what looks like the bushes. There could be a path there, but I can't see it. Can you explain this? No, not really. Thank you, Scary Videos, for bringing this to my attention. Here's another one. We'll just skip forward a little bit. I won't bother fanny-arsing around. Presumably something there at the back, this kind of shadowy thing. Is that meant to be a shadow that's just gone through a door or a screen or something? I'll say the obvious. Hey, it could be a bug crawling across the lens. Coincidentally at the right angle, coincidentally at the right time. It all seems to work because it matches with the direction of the walkway. So I'm not going to say it's that because it doesn't seem very compelling to me. It could be something like that, something close to the lens. It could be something else. It could be just edited in. A lot of the best fakes are really like nebulous, unclear, blurry images you can edit in very easily without causing too much obvious damage to the footage, which would make, telltale marks of fakery. Like some of the images in the previous few videos have been where there's been an obvious sign of fakery, like a very dark shadow person, or a very clear number of errors, and as a result you can tell where it's fake. But with this, it's very blurry. And there are several ways of achieving this kind of shot, but yeah, it fits into, once again, the criteria of what we'd call the unexplained. I suppose. There are ways of doing it, ways of faking it. Do I know it's fake? No, I don't. So I wouldn't say it's proof of ghosts. I wouldn't say that ghosts are real just because of this video. I would say that it's interesting, but I can't explain it because we haven't got enough data. So that's the boring conclusion that skeptics will give you. We don't know because we haven't got enough data. We don't know because we haven't got enough data. Probably going to be similar with most of the stuff I look at in these videos, to be honest. But I'm happy enough to share my opinions. And what I believe might be another matter. I mean, I might well believe, hey, there's probably no ghosts. Probably. Don't know for absolute. Not sure what they're pointing at here. Or is that meant to be a thing over there? Is that meant to be some kind of distant glowing person? Or is it just a plant illuminated or partially illuminated? Does it suddenly move, run towards the camera, and vampirize someone? For some reason they put down the camera. What they should do is go over and investigate. Is it meant to be a waving person at a neighbouring building? Looks a bit like it. I mean, there are many possibilities of what that could be. The noise looks a bit different around it, suggesting either an ambient glow or some editing has been done, but it's hard to tell what. It's not a clear image, so they haven't done the obvious trick of putting something too clear into it, which tends to be a common mistake. Looks almost like a person with like a glowing head, but that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? But interesting though it is. I mean, look at the noise in that image. There's so much noise in there you wouldn't be able to make anything out. As I've shown in videos before how you can get like things which aren't really there. They used to do that on a few channels back in the day. Next one. Okay, so there's something there, and then the stuff around it. So there is something there. Then it's like illuminated. Is there a change in the lights? Hard to say. Could be something's inserted. Can't really say either way, to be honest. Right, what's this? See if this actually has anything. There's a little dark thing. Is that another little moving person thing again? Looks a bit like a person. Oh, actually, that was a clue. You see that? You go backwards. About to walk into the frame of the image I've got here. Here he comes. There he is. He. Giving it properties which it does not have. Look very closely. Poof. Did you see that? Poof. Walks across. Look at the bumper. Here. Pause. So it's still there. That's supposedly its head. Oh, actually, no, it did seem to slip behind it. It seems like the body vanished. I thought that was an editing error. I might be wrong there then. Goes across. It does actually seem like the body just clicks out. The head goes behind the car, or seems to get to that point where it disappears behind the car, whereas the body seems to just sort of vanish or glitch out. Okay, they show a close-up in a second. Let me get that back over there. So there's something moving across. Not clear. Very dark night, clearly. It's been over-illuminated because there's some kind of shape, which you can't really make out. Like several others of these, actually, it's very similar. It's like a bare bones kind of, almost like a stick man, pretty much, but it's more sort of like fleshed out a little bit, almost like some kind of, I don't know, grey alien or something. And look at it where it gets to this bumper. The head goes behind, but the body kind of vanishes. Oh, actually, that didn't then. Maybe it's just the edit. But in any case, interesting. So if I just watched that and jumped to the first conclusion, I would have been a bit off. But I'm not sure it's really anything too clear. Could be an edit. Could be an edit. because the previous one looked a bit like an edit, and one, I think was it yesterday, looked a bit like an edit. That's the end of the video. Let's move on to another. Here's a video I won't get sued over because of copyright issues. It's one made in 2009. It's on the YouTube channel 17842 or 17842, and it's called, as you can see, Proof That Ghosts Are Real, leaked footage from a paranormal research group. Let's see about that. Clips using this video filmed by normal people, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. You know, have an open mind. Think outside the box, or think outside your mind, or have an open mind and let your brain fall out the resulting hole. Whatever the case may be. So I'm drinking a lot of water today. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a misty thing, moves across. So it's terribly clear. I might pause a few here and there, as needs be. I should be able to just do that by doing that. It's the one with the, what looks like a balloon or a head or something poking out. Yeah, it is. Outside of the grave yet there. Up here. It's almost like there's a person there. They show the zoomed in thing. These are classics, by the way. This video was made in 2009, I think I mentioned that. But yeah, these are well-known classics you've probably seen in documentaries before. I've probably seen this video a long time ago. Thing moves across the road. How do you explain that, Mr. Skeptic? How do you explain that? I don't know. You know, I'm not given enough data to come up with an opinion. You might say it must be a ghost. It must be a person. Disincarnate, being, demon, whatever the case may be. Lots of different ideas out there, which I've gone over in previous videos. And yeah, I just don't know, but it's interesting, isn't it? And when something's quite interesting, in fact, a lot of it's these older videos, you know, there's not a lot you can really say. Apart from a lot of them are filmed in very dark conditions, you don't get high quality. Sometimes you can make out things in noise which aren't really there, because you're effectively with the details being smudged and pixelized, or pixelated. And so, as a result, a lot of the stuff isn't very clear, but I don't know what that mist was, nor the first mist for that matter. I'm sure someone will say what it is. There's a face up there, apparently. Didn't look very much like a face. Leave that music on low. It's a bit crap. Didn't realise the music was on, actually, so... Well, the thing, I'll just pause that there just briefly. Things with a lot of these things is where it's meant to be spontaneous, meant to be completely just like out of the blue. Very rarely do we get to speak to any of these people, the originators of these videos, get a full account, able to account for it again, subsequent investigations of locations, whether it's a home or some kind of ancient location, whatever the case may be. Typically we don't find the same phenomena. And if people are unaware of the phenomena, they don't end it with happening again. A few objects move. You can easily move objects using, you know, things like a plastic string, like a fishing reel. You can use that, and that's the thing I mentioned before. But there's many other tricks as well, and to have things seem to move. And if you just dash out of the room instead of going, "What the hell's going on?" and it's low quality video, there's not a lot you can really tell. It's become a lot harder to do that kind of stuff when, you know, video quality is so high now. So if it's a raw video, that means people can go, hang on, I can make out a bit of string there or something. If it's in 4K, you can detect the details more clearly. Still, typically, many of the videos now, even if they were originally recorded in 4K or 1080p, they're reduced down to a very low video quality, and very often copied and copied again and edited again to bring out some of the details, which tends to actually ruin the image quality, making it easier for fakery to remain hidden. But I think I mentioned that before. Not sure if I need my headphones on or not, but here I am. that meant to be a face or something? Does it move? Looks like Jeff the Killer from the Creepypastas. Well, I don't know. Ooh, the door moves. Oh, it's just the door popping open. I think we saw this one before, didn't we? This is one where they invite someone to the house, and it looks like a camera trick. So you may remember this from a number of things before. So, okay, home. Oh, okay, we missed that one. Actually, the previous one, I'll just go back to it for the image for reference. This one with that there, they actually had a follow-up video where a person went along and basically, supposedly just a random person from the nearby area, and they saw some kind of manifestation, but it looked very fake indeed. So, you know, it's worth checking these things out, because sometimes people make a video, say it's real, they'll say, oh yes, I pleaded that it's real. And then later on, they'll come up with another video a year later, once the views start to drop down, and it's an obvious fake. So these things do happen. Let's skip on to the next one. A haunted mirror. What we're seeing is fluctuations there in how the thing picks it up. Oh, there's little dust things. Looks like dust, perhaps, or is it a fly? I can't tell really. Lots of artifacts, as in disruptions within the image, and there's a kind of misty form there. As if the low quality video has been slowed down considerably. Almost like smoke. Almost. So I'm not sure about that one either. I wouldn't know. Could I probably replicate something similar? Yeah, probably. It's the key thing really. If you can replicate it, then what does that tell you? It tells you the likelihood of something special is not as common. Oh, this one's actually a well-known one. It's where you look around the corner, there's a girl, you go back, then you open the door, go through again, and you see some kind of demon-y thing. Because I mentioned this one before. I think I've reviewed it once or twice. Since we're going through this video, which is another compilation video, it's like, hey, what's that? Is it a carrier bag? Backpack, or I don't know, something? Is it a young girl? I don't know. Look back and there's some kind of weird, kind of, I don't know, made up kind of stupid thing. What's that? A lot of it's stuff that, you know, is popularised by people who are basically trolling, but I think most people watching this video know that. I'll just pause for a second just to make a side note. With a lot of these videos where it's very low quality and they have a lack of creativity, they kind of get a bit Blair Witch on you, you know, stumbling around in the dark. It's basically showing a lack of creativity. You know, you look in the door, you go back for no reason, then you go back to the door, open the door again, look again, and there's something there, then you run. End of video. How long were you walking around? Was it evidence that you're actually on your own? Why are you stumbling around in the dark? You know, I never understood that about ghost hunters. Why in the dark? Spiritualists say because the ghosts, spirits like to come out at night. Other people have other ideas like electronic signals interfere with spiritual phenomena and energetic fields because they sometimes register on the electromagnetic spectrum, according to some paranormalists and the like. But it's debatable. It's debatable. Bet some of these has probably been debunked by other people, and I'm not a debunker. I'm just, you know, giving my review. But let's watch this. It's one where the objects move, is it? Or oh, okay. Looks like is the door about to open? Looks like some kind of flickering there. Bit of movement on the curtain. Yeah. Looks like there was something a bit hooky there with the video. Like some kind of technique had been used. What's that moving in front of the camera? You can hear breathing. Yeah, it's just an old-fashioned trick. But now the camera's shaking. Yeah, low creativity. Pause that. Yeah, basically, so a spirit entity, being whatever the case may be, has the power to open the door, slam it, move a curtain a bit, move chairs and a table instantaneously, but it has to jiggle a camera. And why does it do that? You know, it's another fair question. I suppose that doesn't really enter into the typical logic of this situation. But why are these things? Why do they act as they do? Why do these things supposedly function as they seem to function in this way? I don't really get why these things are so valid and in this style. I mean, I suppose it makes sense to someone that these things would operate in this way, but it seems like it's vaguely counterproductive. But anyway, I'm just rambling philosophy, I suppose. But yeah, it seems very staged. You point your camera at the epicenter of alleged activity, and you get some kind of results, and then it becomes a big thing which you go on and on about. Okay. Or it's a question of, well, okay, recording this video, managed to get activity, profound activity. Did you try it again? Did you try it before? No, just tried it once. These videos I just find to be a bit laughable, to be honest. That's merely my opinion. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm rambling. Oh, they did decide to film again. Okay. I find these things are the sort of thing that people do, you know, when they've got too much time on their hands, to be honest. Maybe that's the doubting Thomas in me, but okay. There's a tripod. A little water dispenser. Someone's living room. A different angle this time. Still has someone breathing in there. Was that just meant to be suddenly it changes position? Oh, I see. Yeah. That looks like stop motion, to be honest. Yeah. Fucking trolls. That looks like stop motion photography turned into a video. If you've ever done any kind of stop motion work before, in any capacity, you know, just simply as a bit of hobby, whatever the case may be, then you'll know how that can work. You make things look like it by doing slight adjustments. You can make things move very much like the relatively lifelike movements of the plasticine kind of clay animations, like Wallace and Gromit and things like that, or Shaun the Sheep or whatever. So yeah, you can have these things operate in a way which seems to be quite compelling, but in fact is quite explainable. We'll just finish off this video without too many interruptions. Okay, there's a dark shape. It's got a bit of flicker to it, more than the surrounding video. That's peculiar. Maybe that shadow is just shadow. A thing falls off the window. There's Jesus in the frame, which is kind of cliche. It's an older video. Perhaps it invented the cliche. Okay, a cupboard opens a little bit. Oh, there's something coming out. As if elevated on, well, a bit or several bits of string. Yeah, I'd say that's a plausible fake. As I say, I can't fully know without the full data, but then again, we're talking about events which took place a long time ago. We wouldn't expect to have the full, or enough data, I should say. You never get the full data, I suppose, but I wouldn't call that compelling. And now most shocking of all. Yeah. Scariest thing you've ever seen. Gave you chills throughout your body. Okay, let's give this a go. Oh, it's this classic mirror thing. Mentioned this before. If you don't know it, girl's looking around, she kind of looks in the mirror there, and the thing stays looking out at her while she looks back at her family. So it goes to here, or here, just get a bit further, trying to get to the right point. And I think they kind of reverse the video, so it kind of makes her turn back. So you look at the kid and she ends up turning back around. So she looks over there. Or is it the one where it stays? Oh, it stays with this one. I've seen several videos like this. So it's like, yeah, we're going to show this clip again. And she looks back at the mirror, and the mirror child remains there and looks kind of creepy and evil. It must be classic folklore according to Japanese culture, or wherever it's filmed. It could be filmed anywhere, couldn't it, really? But, yeah, it must be, I don't know, some kind of demon that steals children away or steals their souls, corrupts them. That's the claim made by some people. Other people say it's proof of ghosts. Why would a ghost child be impersonating a child, then not impersonating her in a particular video? It's a weird concept, isn't it? It's a weird concept. But the editing method isn't hard at all, so I think that pretty much says it all. As previously mentioned, it's not difficult to take part of a video and insert it in a part of a video so it remains a certain way with very little movement going on in the video. You don't need to worry about her head moving back and potentially interacting in a wrong way. The video itself is quite static, actually. It's a thing I've not noticed really before. Let me get out of that so I don't want to give full screen on you. But it's as if the video, even though it's handheld, is quite well stabilised in the scale of things. And it's especially stabilised there where it's gone into kind of slow motion. That's where it's changed. So it's like it changed all the way there. It's been given a weird effect. But yeah, that's unusual, but I would not say in any way, shape or form that is a sign of a spiritual being, a ghost. I wouldn't say it's evidence of that whatsoever. Merely my opinion. Obviously, we can't say for absolute, in the absolute way, in the ultimate sense. But logically, it does appear to be a fake. To be honest, a hoax.